Let's start with something timely, first impressions. Now, from the moment I walked in the door over there, I was making first impression to Ryan for the first time. We were meeting in person and you, the viewer. Here's what happened when I walked in the door. First, you want to determine who has VIP status in the situation. In this case, Ryan has VIP status. Then, you want to determine what role location plays in the first impression. I'm coming to Ryan's office, therefore I'm in his space. I need to show him respect. So on two levels, Ryan is more VIP than me, so I have my playbook for how to act now. So here's what happened, and I'll say Ryan knows what he's doing and clearly has good etiquette and he is a fantastic host. Ryan invited me in. Ryan put his hand out first because he's welcoming me into his office. I extended my hand and said hello. Notice I didn't put my other hand over his. That would have been a dominant power play to show I'm in charge of him. In this case, Ryan is the VIP. Now, if we are in a neutral space coming into negotiations, I may want to raise my dominance by putting my hand over, under, or to the side of the other person's. I would do this if we were both on equal footing and I wanted a leg up. Here, I didn't do that because I want to show respect to Ryan, and we're not here to negotiate or be confrontational. We're here to do a course. Next, as Ryan is the host, Ryan shows me to walk first. He is showing respect to me as his guest by allowing me to walk first. When I got to the chairs, I waited to be shown where to sit. You should never sit without your host inviting you to sit. Finally, Ryan waited for me to sit to make sure his guest was comfortable before he makes himself comfortable. If this was a neutral location and I was in a negotiation with someone with equal stature or I want to show dominance, I would sit first. This would also let me choose where to sit and establish the dynamics. The two power play positions at a table are in the middle and the ends. That's how we got here. In coming here today, I had the same goal that anyone should have when trying to make a first impression. When you walk into a room, any room, the goal is always to come across likable, confident, authoritative, and trustworthy. Keeping in mind that everything I decided to wear today, every component of my presence was chosen and cultivated for a reason, to play the part. I know you have expectations for what I'm going to bring to the table as the authority in etiquette. Therefore, I need to look and act the part for you to trust that I am who I say I am and Ryan says I am. This is especially important in a negotiating setting. The stakes are high. Even if the person across from the table is a friend who shares your goal of working for the deal rather than for their side, you are still representing competing, sometimes conflicting interests. So every move matters. When you walk into a room, the first thing that people notice is how you've presented yourself physically. This includes what you're wearing, and you should always dress the part of success, what you're carrying from your cell phone to your pen. People are watching you. I love to say that you should always dress how you want to be addressed. And in this case, you want to come in like you're winning already. Maintaining the appearance of confidence is also imperative in owning a room. Things like eye contact and posture can make all the difference in the way that people look at you. Eye contact should be consistent and respectful. Your posture should be strong and powerful. Your smile should be genuine. Showing happiness and concern makes you instantly more likable and gives you the impression that you're attentive and present. Learning to smile while you talk is key to being likable, and people want to do business and negotiate with people they like. That sounds hard, but here's how to do it. Start every sentence, or as many sentences as you can, by smiling. Between natural pauses in your speaking, bring in a smile. You're not expected to smile throughout what you're saying because you really don't want to come across as unnatural. And pay attention to the other side of the conversation. If they're smiling, you're going to smile naturally too. If they're not, you may want to smile more to bring more friendliness to the conversation. And another thing that you can do to ensure that you own a room is to always face forward. Even if you're entering and exiting, don't turn your back to the room, because if you only have 7 seconds to make a powerful first impression, you don't want your backside to be part of that. And I'll show you how to do that at the end of this section of the course. When you step into a negotiation, there are a few ways that you can set the stage to give off the air to someone who genuinely wants to make this deal work for everyone. First, be positive, even if it's one of those days. You know the ones. A day when you were late for your first showing because your dog threw up, a day when a 6-year-old broke a vase at a $700,000 listing, a day when you hit every single red light. Even when it's one of those days, your job is to find a way to turn it into something positive. Instead of complaining when someone asks how your day's been, walk into a space and say something like, "It's been quite the day, but all I can say is I'm so happy to be here. How are you doing?" And no matter what, smile. As much as it might hurt to smile, smile. And when we smile, it doesn't just change our appearance, it changes our whole energy. We might not feel that smile, but science tells us that smiling can actually trick our brain into feeling better. As I always say, don't fake it until you make it, practice it until you become it. And just like that, you've turned your day around and simultaneously made everyone in front of you feel valued and important. A perfect first impression. The second thing you can do that will help you make a great first impression is to be sure to use someone's name after you've been introduced to them. Note how I used Ryan's name when we met in person just now. If you have trouble remembering names, here's a quick way to trick your brain into holding on to that info. Your brain is more likely to remember 2 pieces of information that relate to each other over 1 piece of information that exists on its own. So when you meet me, if you think Micah with the red lip, or meet Ryan and think of real estate agent with the gray hair, you're more likely to remember a person's name. Ryan makes his unique gray hair work for him. And the last thing you can do to make a great first impression is to have energy. Think about someone like Ryan. He walks into a room and has such vibrant, powerful energy, which in turn shows confidence. And confidence is how you win a room. Things like smiling and using your hands when you speak makes you appear to have great energy. Pay attention to your posture. Back straight, shoulders back slightly, eyes looking straight ahead. If you need to do a few jumping jacks or take a shot of espresso before you get started, then do it. Having energy when you make an entrance gives you immediate control over the room you walk into. I'll teach you a few more power plays in just a moment, but let's get back to first impressions while negotiating.